Hello, welcome back to Monster Train. I am, as always, your host, a swarm of bees. It's 4 a.m., which is this is the true experience. I have returned once more into the cycle. I don't know how it became 4 a.m., but it is. It's a Friday, so it was like, so I took the night off from streaming and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get some recording done. And I did co-op with Cranberry, and that took up like an hour and a half or so. And then I was like, okay, my friends are still around. I'll go play a game of League of Legends with them. And that was at 1 a.m. And now it's 4 a.m. And I wish I had spent my time more wisely, but is it really that surprising? Nah. I do this to myself every time, too. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to take a night off, and I'm just going to sit down and record a bunch, and then I just get sucked into doing something else. It's every time. It's a real tragedy. I do not have. I didn't pre-plan a question for you. You see, the engagement questions, they started out good when I had a bunch of good ideas. We are this character today. But now that I actually have to think, we get into some pretty bad and I get some garbage questions out here. But do I have a good one for you today? Absolutely not, of course not. The other problem is that I don't remember what I have and have not asked. So give it a sec. Let me mull this one over. Alright, so here's what I did. I paused the recording to look up a good question. You see, this is I wasn't gonna tell you that I did this. I was just gonna go through a list and I was gonna be like, yeah, I could use some of these. So what did I do? I went, okay, let's look up first date questions. Because last time I looked up discussion questions, I got some weird stuff. And I found a pretty good one here. So this is what's your favorite joke? It's a good question. So let me tell you my favorite joke. So the thing about the Hellion is, and this is a joke that you will only understand if you watch the stream. It's like a minute long joke that I have made up about Darkest Dungeon. I'll put a link in the description to a clip of me telling the joke because it would make no sense if I were to tell it here. Although that is also partially part of the joke, and if you have heard me tell this joke 15 times, you may have just screamed. But yeah, this is actually like a legitimately good question of what's your favorite joke. Not from the perspective of like tell me something that's funny, but it's interesting from the perspective of dissecting humor. One of the things that I do because I can't enjoy anything unless I force it to make sense. But like making people laugh is, of course, it's a good side effect. If you are good at making people laugh, I feel like content is better. So I try to figure out how to do more of that, and ultimately I've failed, as you can tell by the tone of these videos. But yeah, tell a joke. That's tough, dude. I feel like if you tell someone tell a joke, you're never gonna laugh at what they tell you, because it's just, hey, funny man, be funny. Oh, I was expecting that. Gotcha. I don't know. Anyway, give me your thoughts on the state of comedy in 2 paragraphs or less in the comment section down below. I could talk a lot longer about this, but I should play Monster Train. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Pushback Talos. Ugh. At least we have imps. Spell Shield fell. Staff Seraph, Hornbreak, Echo Snare, Important Work. We're Exile Hellhorned and Wurmkin. We have Important Work. We have Exile Hellhorned. That's pretty good. So, you know me. You know I love a good old-fashioned Koruska. However, I do really think that first relic guild marker is one of the stronger possible choices here. Like, of all of the relics you can start with, guild marker is really nuts. This is so much money. And money equals removals equals power here. We have important work, so I could potentially go royalty here. Here's the thing. I don't really think royalty is that good. Royalty requires us to high roll a little bit more. Like, we have to hit multi-strike for her to be a viable heavy killer, and even still it's a little bit rough. Like, no doubt, it's pretty good, but I feel like with no guarantees, royalty's a little scary, so I'm gonna go Imperialist. And I think that's fine. I'm not feeling strong enough to go Divine Horde here. What do I mean by no guarantees? If I had Welder Helper, I would consider royalty a little bit more. This is fine. If I had Welder Helper, if I had some sort of certainty on this run, I would think about that one a little more. Or I would also consider Royalty if we were Umbra secondary, because with Umbra secondary, we would get the access to Trample, which is a second option for her scaling. We were neither of those options, though. I'm gonna play Queen top floor. We're gonna... So the most important thing to have happen here is I need to draw... I guess I don't need to because we have Fracture, but it would be good to draw a Queen Zimpling on the turn the boss spawns. Well, not on the turn the boss spawns, but on the turn the boss comes to top floor, I should say. I just fed a damage shield for what? I ruined the natural balance for no reason. It's okay. So I need to... I will Echo Snare mid. I need to play 2 Fractures down here to catch this Foot Soldier. And I just put a Queen Zimpling up here, and that's fine. So because I have no pack shards, the boss is not that frightening to me. Oh yeah, we have Hornbreak in this deck that I completely forgot about. That's good. Boss has 5 attacks, so putting Train Steward down is bad. Or is it? Hold on. Because when you think about it a little more, in terms of min-maxing our damage, Train Steward blocks 2 hits if I draw him later. I'm going to play Train Steward. I think it is a little bit better. I think it's a very, very slight thing to min-max, so I'm not going to go too in-depth on why I think it's better, but I believe it is better. Also, we can just Fracture a bunch here and, yeah, freebie. Not free, but a little bit better. Yeah, so we'll take 10, and that's okay. Not bad for the trial with this queen. Basically, my thinking there is having the Train Steward block the hit and then only block 1 from the boss is, I guess it's neutral because we're saving the queen so she gets that extra hit at 2 HP. But if we had a full health Train Steward there, it would be the same. She'd get the same number of hits in as I think about it more. Doesn't matter too much. Give me Molting him. Give me... Of these 3, Echo Snare, Hostingkin, Bogfly, I think Hostingkin is fine. It's one of those cards that I feel like you don't bother. Like, this seems like a card that you don't skip just because 0 energy do 13 move. This does so many different things. This kills backline, this moves tanks out of the way. And so if the other 2 cards in your pack are worthless, I think you just click Hostingkin. That card's really strong. It's so bad. This unit, Consumer of Crowns, is a joke. I believe that this is in contention for worst possible unit in the game. I think that... I think he is the worst unit in the game, actually. Even Thorned Hollow at least has some use case. I cannot think of a universe where you're playing around Consumer of Crowns. He's not worth it. I think if his stats were doubled, you could maybe justify it. But he's so worthless. I'll click Steelworker because he's Steelworker. I do believe in the Hellhorned banner here. I think our unit outs are like, we want Alpha Fiend or like Horn Warrior could maybe get there if I pick up some Rage. Apex Imp, of course. Second Steelworker is Hellhorned in general just has a lot of real clunkers. Demon Fiend. He's just like, it's a legitimately unplayable unit. And he's not playable until after you kill the first boss and he's not useful anymore. Like, what are you doing here, Demon Fiend? What are you doing here? I don't think I grab a second Steelworker for the self-infuse. Like, down the line, I may want to do this, but I'd rather leave the flexibility open instead of committing to it right now. So I might want to put Steelworker onto something else, basically. I do believe... let's take a quick look. Magic Shop. I do believe I reroll. I could, but I'm not going to. But I could Large Stone. I don't want to buy a sub-power upgrade, so I guess we just chill. Spell Chain plus 10 piercing. I don't believe any of this is good. I guess Spell Chain important work ends up good if we pick up an Endless, but alas, we did not get much stronger. I do think we have to slam any unit draft. Damn the consequences, basically. +4 is a very scary trial, but this run becomes very good if we get a unit to play around. That's all that we need. If we pick up a unit that we can carry, Imperialist Queen does a lot. She puts in a lot of work. I just need something to actually have her put in work for. Put this in front. Oh, and that was the spikes, yeah. I think I'd rather important work, actually, and just ping off the priest as well here. I think it's worth. Let's get rid of him. I don't know. This is one of those clan combos, though. I will admit, there's some clan combos that I feel very doomed when I play. I feel like Hellhorned, Wurmkin, their big problem is just there's not many units that are good between these two clans. So you end up sitting there looking through a lot of real garbage. Some real nonsense in here. Yeah, save the health, I suppose. What's coming up? Hostingkin, Echo Snare. I can fracture the boss here, and then I get the conduit. Are you a conduit? I think this is a conduit. It is a conduit. I get the spikes enemy through Echo Snare. Hostingkin also kills our own imps for us. Another good thing it does. 1 damage away from dying. Alright, not too bad. Thank you, Steelworker. Alright, come on, Apex Imp. I will pick Apex Imp if they show it to me. This run's feeling pretty doomed, so... No Rage is a real problem. No Rage, no Welder Helper. Like, this branding right is a slap in the face. I think I'd pick Fortify in case I end up somehow playing around Infusions. Let's go for it. Echo Infusion. Survivability. It's not great, but it's okay. What about Echo Transfer here? I don't think so. Oh, hey. Cool. Good, okay. That's great. Yeah, so here's the deal, right? Here's the issue. Or not the issue, here's the point. If I don't pick Apex Imp here, this is a run that looks really bad, and there's nothing fun or interesting that's gonna happen that Apex Imp cuts off. This run is doomed, and this is the perfect position for me to take Apex Imp. I think that there are runs, like, Apex Imp is a unit that I think you can win with from any position, right? I feel like as long as you have an armor card in your deck, you will win with Apex Imp. So, in runs where I have a plan and I'm like, ooh, let's try this out, I'm not going to pick him in hard pivot to win, but this run has nothing happening for it, so I'm happy to take Apex Imp and just roll on through. Sorry, I try not to, like, scroll like that because I think it's a little jarring, but... hey, you know. Hellvent here. The Hellvents don't line up super well, but it is fine. It's just, I want to... maybe it's better to just go right here at this Hellvent and live with 2 Apex Imps without having both of them guaranteed to have multi-strike. I don't think so. I think 1 Apex Imp will be strong enough for a while. Anyway, let's go... we go right. Fire health is nice, and also there's some artifacts that would be good. Cleansing Water is fine. I don't have anything for wing clipping, so I'll just take Cleansing Water. Sure. +10, Bone Shine, Bone Rattler. Ugh. I'll take Bone Shine. I don't know, I've kind of changed my tune lately about completing the logbook. I do kind of want to just knock everything out, because I kind of just want to stamp Bone Shine at some point. I don't know. I've been very anti-completion, but Bone Shine is a card that will legitimately never get stamped. Like, Gift of Gratitude, I at least put a conditional in for myself that's like, okay, if I finish Combat 7 and I don't consume it for whatever reason, I'll finish out the run with it, right? But Bone Shine is just absolutely no way. There's no world where this card ever makes it to the end, so... like, if I don't put in a conditional of like, okay, if this happens, I will stamp it, it will never get a stamp. Just never ever. I can't combine Apex Imp and Shard Toe Queen. Don't worry. I'm aware. One of those things that they did for flavor and is weird that Apex Imp can just get killed like that. He also doesn't win us this combat for free. I will have to do a little bit of assisting. 5-9. Big you, Talos. 5. So I put Train Steward down, and he'll tank the round. I cannot play a spell on this floor, of course, but that's fine. And she goes mid floor. If she has to go top floor next turn, I think it's best to just throw a Train Steward up here at this. I guess she doesn't have to, but a Train Steward preemptively does a lot for us. I believe she goes top floor this next turn. Also putting him up here, he gets to start stacking his armor. Use a Queen's Impling to tank. Alright. Not that. I might take a little bit of damage, but I have a lot of fire health to play with here. So I just have to make sure that I'm min-maxing to make us as strong as possible for Relentless, because this man, he's good, but he's not gonna be out of control yet. Soon he will be. I think my best choice is to actually put a Queen's Impling here so that we get 15 armor per round from the Steelworker Essence. And Queen's Impling should buy us 2 more rounds or something like that. Seems fine. Not a good time for Bone Shine. If we see, there's of course a few things we see with the Echo Infusion. I'm pretty confident. If we ever see Ally of the Ancients, this run basically just ends. We have the Steelworker Infusion, so I think it is already more or less over. But and we have Fortify. I will admit, I picked Fortify in the back of my mind. I was like, also this is really good if we see Apex Imp. Thanks, Apex Imp. Very cool. And look at that, the Impling that I made did something. Cool. I'm hearing a weird noise, give it a sec. I guess it's nothing. Symphony of the Soul, it's like we have the perfect unit for Symphony of the Soul. I actually do not hate this. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do Symphony of the Soul here. Because, I'm leaning back and move the mic. I have a whole bunch of infusion cards, right? And I have nothing to spend them on, and this is infused. This is the run. If this run is not the Symphony of the Soul run, there's never going to be a run. I could pick another Steelworker here, just in case, but I don't think I will. Like, what would I pick him for? I guess I pick this Steelworker, and then he just sits on the floor with Apex Imp. Yeah, you know what? He's actually really good. Because I'm not duplicating Apex Imp for a while. Grabbing the Steelworker just gives Apex Imp #1 something to bodyguard him. This is a draw energy run, I believe. We can maybe go draw space and play 2 Apex Imps and a Steelworker. But if we're going to do that, we could just play 3 Apex Imps. Yeah. Because of the Steelworker, I especially don't think we need to go to the Hell Vent, so we can just head left. For Apex Imp, I would like Multi-Strike, of course. After that, yeah, we'll kind of see what they show us, basically. Hey, Multi-Strike. Cool. That was easy. So I will take Quick if it's shown. Endless for an Imp does seem pretty good. Just put it on Molting Imp. Queen's Impling might be better, because then we can do a Self-Infuse. We could do Queen's Impling on itself here. And then this Queen's Impling does 50 per round, which is pretty good. Combined, it's like 70 to the frontmost enemy. It's quite a big chunk, but actually, yeah, I think Queen's Impling is better than Molting Imp here. Even if I don't infuse it, like the Molting Imp does very little. Alright. I do believe from this position this run should be, barring just an absolute breakdown of the mental, this run should be free. I've said that about runs and then lost them, but this run is like, it's hard to envision a world where I lose from this position. We have so many things that have gone right. I don't think that this run that we're playing is necessarily impossible without Apex Imp. He makes it a lot simpler, but like, I'm trying to think of what else you do. I feel like it's Alpha Fiend and who else? Like, who else do you put? I feel like I've only ever really tried it with Alpha Fiend, and it usually doesn't go super well. I guess it depends a little more on the cards we see too, right? Because you can do... I think you can do this run that we're about to do here, but replace Apex Imp with Horned Warrior, and we did that... Or no, I watched Cranberry do that. I suggested it to him as like a, hey, you should try this maybe here, because this run looks really frigged, and it ended up panning out. Ooh, Queen's Impling important work up here. I don't think I get to the Symphony of the Soul. No, that's impossible. But that's okay. Oh, I shouldn't have put that in front. My bad. But no, I think if you have the Rage cards, you can go like Horned Warrior or Brandon as a carry. Brandon's a little more multi-strike reliant, but either one I think will work. The problem with Alpha Fiend is you have to like drip feed Alpha Fiend a unit here or there to hit, or else he doesn't scale and you just get steamrolled. And it's really scary. But then in the Divinity, like if you get there, he's actually not that big of a deal. I don't know, I kind of struggle with this question in specifically Hellhorned Wurmkin, because I think that both clans have pretty bad units. Maybe I need to sit down and play around with the Wurmkin units a little more. Maybe there's some secret OP units. Give me your hot takes for Wurmkin units. Do you think that there's any Wurmkin units that can hard carry runs? I think Shard Soul Carver can, but he's really weird. I guess you could maybe do space and play 2 Shard Soul Carvers. He's just too big, I find. But maybe on this run you could play space and 2 Shard Soul Carvers could get there. Alternatively, I think you could play Keeper of Echoes. Like 2 Keeper of Echoes is also pretty good. I feel like if you're carrying with Wurmkin units, though, you have to take space. Which isn't necessarily a problem. Like, it's there for a reason, right? But I find myself not loving Wurmkin units too much. Hey, we got Last Stand. I'm going to take Imp in a box because it's a lot better. We already have Last Stand. We have Symphony of the Soul. Perfect Insanity, get out of here. Give me Return Soul. You know, I don't want to be the one to... Look, Return Soul is a ridiculous card. I have said this so many times that I feel like it does not even bear repeating. Hey, Queenstail seems pretty good. But at the same time, like, every day I am baffled by the existence of Return Soul. This is a pretty good Lights gift, by the way. It removes Quick as a great upgrade for Apex Imp. It's still okay, but because he's going to have a good frontliner with Steelworker, I don't really need it. I've taken Quick and had it be useful just as like a we sneak an extra round out of boss fights sort of thing, but we won't really need that here. There really are just some ridiculous Wurmkin spells. I think Wurmkin's very strong, but it also has some garbage mixed in. I can take this spell shield, it's not a big deal. I should be on a... I kind of wish that I could do something to separate different series, because I do, despite what you may know or believe, I do actually run 2 series of Monster Train. One of them is just co-op. It'd be nice to see what kind of win streak Cranberry and I get up to. Now that I'm playing solely YouTube runs, I think some of the stream runs, I'll admit it, some of the stream runs, they get a little zany towards the end of the night. When I stream this game, and I stream this for like 4 hours, the end of the night runs I start to get into some real dumb gameplay. But, like, I'm saying this entirely because Griftlands has the functionality, and it is so nice. The fact that I was able to just run like 3 runs in Griftlands was so lovely. Yeah, you'll take 14 for this, right? Yeah, that's fine. But I'd also be interested, like, maybe I could set up a different profile or something. It'd be cool to keep track of, like, win-loss within the different series. That's really what I'm saying. It's far too late for that at this point. I guess I could always reset my profile on... at this point, but I don't know about that. Fledgling Imp does very little. Do you think we'll see a Molting Imp on this run, or nah? Or sorry, not a Molting Imp, the other one. Hold on, I'll think of it. Welder Helper. I kept trying to think, I was going through my mind and I was like, Imp. Welder Helper doesn't have Imp in the name. It's taken me how long to come to this realization. There's no imp. There's no imp. It's just Welderhelper. His name isn't a pun. It's just... He just is. Really weird. It's really weird. I don't know. I haven't decided on the Bone Shine yet. I haven't decided if I'm just gonna let it happen. Yeah, that's really ridiculous on Apex Imp, isn't it? Don't kill the sycophant. It, like, he gets... His rage doesn't double, it triples. Yeah, his rage triples and his armor doubles. I'm just gonna end turn. Yeah. What could kill me on this run? That's one of those questions. I don't really know if anything can kill me on this run. Probably just my own idiocy is what takes this run away from us, right? It's something like letting a backliner kill my queen, I guess. There's not really a spell upgrade I need. I'm just gonna go right for removals. Queens and Blinks can stay. Train Stewards are already all gone. So I guess I get rid of Fracture. Maybe the Echo Snare, but I don't know about that. And grab another Endless if we so desire. First we're gonna put a plus 25 onto the Endless Queen's Impling. I could have 2 Endless Queen's Implings. The first one I play is free because of Queen's Tail, so the second one starts to get to be a little bit of an issue, but I think I do it. Quick, like I said, Quick doesn't do a lot for us here. We'll see another Steel Shop for sure, so I can just chill. Oh, you know what would be real killer? It can't really happen, but I need to make sure that I take 80 more Pact Shards, so Purge Stone would be nice. Purge Stone doesn't do much. So we take 15 here when we do Apex Imp, and then we take 15 here when we do Apex Imp. We take space from Fel. And we're at 80, so I will take 10 from the next 2. Hang on. Intrinsic, plus 10 piercing, Purge Stone. Yeah, I have, okay. I have 3 spells. I should make sure that I don't run out of spells that can get plus 10 piercing on them, though. So don't, like, blindly remove Hornbreak, basically. I will cut 1 more Fracture here. Put on the 2. Okay. The guild marker hasn't made a huge difference in this run, but it's mostly because I don't have much to remove. It let me reroll shops early, though, which is also pretty nice, right? I got to look for the Endless early, even though I didn't hit it. Hey, Transcendent. He got nerfed. That's right. Transcendent got nerfed and Important Work got nerfed. I forgot. I was trying to forget anyway. Very sad what they did to our boy. Oh, I should have played these in the other order. Huh. I could have avoided the Ember Drain we'll take next turn. It's not that big of a deal, though. I don't think that Transcendent is ruined, by the way. It's like, he's still really strong. At 2 energy, that unit is still ridiculous. Basically, at any energy point, I think that unit is ridiculous. Just because of how it works. I can't believe, very early on, I actually did believe that Transcendent was not very good, or like Imp builds in general were not very good. Again, though, I think that's one of those things, like, I look back and I remember opinions like that, but what I don't remember is the fact that those units were really bad. Like, they got buffed a lot since we last saw them. Press enter. This deck only has 15 cards once I play out all my stuff. Even less because we haven't played everything out yet. You want to give me a Pyre Trumper? Another Transcendent. Huh. Oh, I didn't even think about getting that Symphony of the Soul out there. Oh well. He doesn't really do anything. He plays 1 Welder Helper and like 6 Queen's Implings. I don't know. Nothing even gets past bottom 4 because Queen's killing it all. What the hell? What's happening down here? It's a massacre. Let's go with a little Fortify. I'm gonna play Symphony of the Soul. There's no doubt in my mind. I just play Queen's Impling up here. I could burn the Fortify with Return Soul as well. Yeah, because if I do this, I never see this Queen's Impling die. Maybe that's fine though. That's probably fine. You know, I'm doing a lot of thinking for someone with a 444 times 2. Like I'm doing a lot of min-maxing for someone with a unit doing 800 damage to Fel this round. Yeah. When you think about it in that regard, it kind of makes a little more sense to just quit your worrying. Kills what? Wait, he's a machine gun. So people have told me one of the strategies that I've wanted to play but never did get the chance to is Endless Transcendent with a Queen's Impling infused. They say it just becomes a machine gun, rapid fire. In them with a little gratata, you know? I haven't been presented the opportunity, but I hope to one day get to hit him with the machine gun. This would be a pretty good run for it, although my Queen's Impling is endless and not my Transcendent because I don't have a my Transcendent. It's a little harder to do that. He can bear it. Wait, this does like 200, what the hell? Yeah. Imagine if each one of those was 40 instead of 10. God damn. This could also be a run where we hit the rage cap, which could be fun. You never know. It's just so ridiculous, man. Apex Imp is so absurd. Look at this. Look at what I'm doing to him. I can just skip everything. It's not even a Diligent Seraph. We just take space. We make 3 of this Apex Imp and we steamroll. This is the run that requires no thinking. And I like it. I appreciate it. I'm not in the mind state to banter with you here. I apologize. It is a little later. We're closing in on 4:30. I'm glad to be back on my normal schedule. I need to make sure that I take +10s here. Take an intrinsic imp in a box. It seems good. But I'm happy to be back on my normal schedule, quote unquote. Everything's done. I had to wake up early a few days in a row. I woke up a little early yesterday, maybe the day before. Sure, that's actually pretty good. In case Divinity for a little extra bonus power. Makes Symphony of the Soul easier to play, which is nice. But no, I woke up... So on my vacation, I woke up early because my grandmother, I was spending time with her, and she doesn't stay up till 4 a.m., I guess. And so it all starts the day I leave for vacation. I'm gonna respect Spike's trials here. Because I have to wake up super early and I'm up super late doing video stuff, right? Making sure that there's content every day that I'm gone. And then after that, I'm waking up early because I'm going like hanging out with the family, you know? And then I get back, I get like 1 or 2 days, but I'm not fixed. My schedule's all frigged because I was, you know, on a different schedule for like a week and a half. And then I finally start to get my schedule back together, but I do that sponsored stream, and that sponsored stream has me wake up at like 9 a.m. because, oh god, that shit was rough. And then I woke up early for my friend's birthday, which was like 4 days ago, but we celebrated it on Thursday. And now here we are. It's a brief rundown of how my week went. It's like my last 2 weeks, right? And I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. This is fine. I could even potentially Echo Infusion my Queen's Impling here if I'm really worried. I'm not really that worried, though. But no, I'm not complaining. Like, it was nice to do all of these things and have the time to. But, like, it is... Everything's done and over, and I can go back to the schedule that I was living on before, and that's nice, right? It's good for a return to normalcy, I feel like. after so much doing. And I've been pretty happy with the channel content too. I've been pumping out some good work. Why am I thinking? Like, I'm stopping to think, but for what? Like, I did all of this bullshitting with you. I just gave you a little rundown on my last few because there's nothing left. This run is done. This run is on the books. As far as I'm concerned, outside of like my power cutting out, this run gets shipped as a W. As long as my video file doesn't get corrupted. Yeah, interesting analytics stuff I guess I can talk about. So I've been doing, we were doing 4 videos a day. It's probably gonna go back to 3 videos a day just for a little bit because I'm a little overwhelmed. But I was getting you with the, so we had the stream highlights, the Griftlands, this series, and then also the Subnautica stuff, which is still occasionally getting posted when I remember. I'm going to get all of Subnautica over to YouTube. I just have to sit down and like set it all to upload and then forget about it basically. But an interesting thing that's happening is because I'm posting like 3 or 4 videos a day, each video is taking longer to get to the number of views that I would expect it to get to. Because, you know, there's a lot more content, and if you're watching all of it, you're gonna have to cut out, like you just don't have the time, right? And I understand that. But it's kind of cool because maybe I have the opportunity to make videos and then just have like different audiences watching different types of videos, which is something that I was thinking could be neat. I don't need Inferno here. I don't need anything. Like I really, perhaps this is overconfidence. It is possible that this is overconfidence, but I really feel like if I walk into the Divinity with this deck, we win. Endless 5, 10, 25. I just want to check if there's a multi-strike in here for the Apex Imp, right? Because potentially I could do that. I'll throw a plus 25 at one of them, because that's the best upgrade of the multi-strike, I believe. Cricket Shop holds, Ashes. It's not even that crazy. Like, I know it sounds pretty crazy to grab Ashes with a ball in here, but it's really not that nutty. Let me reroll the Steel Shop first to see where our money's like. Ah, cool. Second multi-strike. That'll help us kill the Divinity even sooner. So for 210, I can get Ashes. I can roll, and if the relic that we roll into has a low roll on its cost, we can buy it. I'll take Ashes, and I'll just be happy with it, though. We remove Steelworker. And we remove also... I don't know. I guess I could remove the Queen's Impling. I don't think I want to. Every card in this deck seems okay. Let's get our pack shards sorted out now. I'm gonna go ahead and dupe the multi-strike imp, and we'll grab another 10 from Piercing. Put it on Hostingkin is fine. Even 100. I don't know. None of these cards really matter that much. They're all pretty bad. But I don't want to remove all the Fractures. I'm going to cut out Hornbreak. I don't want to remove all the Fractures because I need cards that are infused so that I can play Symphony of the Soul and make big number. Because big number equals neuron activation. Zap 3. No, I got time here. Like, what am I going to do to fill this air is the question. Could talk about my joke theories. I don't know, I think probably a little more about comedy than the average person because it is a little more related to what we're doing here. And it's better than me just going, wow, this run is strong. I feel like I should talk about something off topic rather than... This is an interesting question, actually. This is one that I struggle with. Do I, in a run like this, just sit here and focus wholeheartedly, whole hog on this run and just tell you about the run and what's going on with it? Because this run has been over for like 3 rounds since Fell. This run has been pretty well cemented in victory. The Light's Gift more or less sealed the already won deal, but there's still time to fill, right? This is one of those things about Monster Train that I have found to be a little frustrating, actually. Not necessarily frustrating, but like, what's the word? Like annoying, maybe, is the right term. These runs where you win and then have to go through the motions, it's become more of an issue. I'm gonna just auto set to Speed Ultra. It's become more of an issue with the addition of things like Apex Imp, right? But like the run is over. The run is very over. There is in no known universe does this run not end here. But we have to go through the motions anyway. Don't get me wrong, I like Apex Imp. I just kind of think that I wish there was something that we could do about this. But I don't know what you could do. Like, I really don't know what you could do. If you could install a mod that just says win this run. That comes with its own issues, I feel like. But anyway, what was I about to say? Yeah, I guess tie it back into the intro. I don't really have a whole lot of runs where I get to tie back into the intro. A, because there's not many runs that are this broken at this point in the run. And I'm not in the mind state for it usually. But no, especially like for my purposes, the concept of being funny is pretty hard because this is not a game that opens itself up to a whole lot of time for me to sit here and talk like this. And when I do, I don't really have time to give you like a, hey, you guys want to hear a joke? What do you get when you cross a chicken with a... Anyway, I did not actually have a joke there. I just kind of started going and was hoping I would finish that. And now this is if I had come up with a good joke on the spot there, that would have been pretty good. Now we go into the what could I have said here. We go into the retrospect part of the run. I bring up the run summary of that joke and I tell you what we could have done better in that joke. So what do you get when you cross a chicken with what? What would you be reasonably crossing a chicken with? Okay, I got it. What do you get when you cross a chicken with a leader who rules with an iron fist? A clucktator. That's not good, don't get me wrong. That's very bad, but it's something. And I get points for trying, and you can't take these points away from me. No matter what you do, I will keep these points with me for now and forever. Now, a lot of comedy though, it's like you gotta put yourself out there too. You gotta be willing to take risks in order to potentially be funny. And I think the biggest thing is dealing with the fact that some of the jokes you tell are going to be unfunny. I've built a bit of a defense mechanism to this joke theory by making my jokes intentionally unfunny, and that's the punchline. And then every now and then I'll sneak one in that's actually funny, and you go, "Oh, hey, wait a minute. Wait, that wasn't just some dumb thing that you go, haha, get it?" Because it's, I don't know. I feel like I'm close to just having, like, a moment of reckoning and then go, oh god, I just turned into Papa John for a second there. I feel like I'm pretty close to having this moment of, like, yo, I need to reinvent myself and then just redefining how I approach all of this. But it hasn't happened yet. Boneshine made it. Boneshine actually legitimately made it to this run this far because I forgot. I have not looked at it or thought about it at all. I'm gonna blow up one of these Molting Imps to look for my top card. Wurmkin doesn't matter. Yeah, just generally have some insight for you on whatever the hell I was talking about there. Why do you take 3? Didn't you take 2? No, that's right. Never mind. That is correct. I was thinking about this as him gaining 10 armor and then this being -8 from that, but that's wrong. I flipped the negative in my head. Hosting can this and save 19, I guess. Yeah, I went through a period of time where I was a little more into thinking about this. I was watching some stand-up comics to try and get a feel for comedy as a whole and how you can approach it. It's a difficult one, dude. The comedy's hard. If there's a way to lose this run, by the way, it's doing what I've done here. I probably should have played mid-floor with my Shardtail Queen. If I pull a Welder Helper, it's pretty good though. Yeah, okay. I'm actually a lot less worried now. 30, 41 coming at me here. I can put down Molting Imp and then Hornbreak. I think I put the Molting Imp behind. No, I want him to jump hits, actually. Just let him eat that. I think that's fine. I also feel like I should just put my survivability on the Queen. I end up missing the Queen's Impling, but we'll draw back to it pretty quickly. That's right. Also, when the enemies go up here, they don't actually pose a threat because we have Light Skip. That's right. There's a reason that this run really is brainless. It's like, this is one of those situations where this run was truly a turn off my brain sort of run, but I've burned myself many times in the past by turning off my brain and then losing a run. So I didn't trust myself, but this one, but without thinking about it, truly was a turn my brain off sort of run. Cool. Again, like to reiterate, not complaining. It's been a few runs since I got to just sit down and play this Apex Imp nonsense, and this run was adrift in a sea of nothingness until this happened, so I am glad for the assist from Monster Train here. Like we can go. We don't have a ton of armor built up, like we won't win through attrition, but we will win through the fact that these units do like 1,000 damage per round, yeah. And Boneshine made it. Boneshine made it because Boneshine completely left my mind. And I don't really mind. I've basically changed, I've changed my tune more or less. I'm not going to start carrying other cards, but Boneshine as a specific card is one that I will never, ever finish. So I may as well give it special treatment here. For completion, because I do care about completion, don't get me wrong. I think that there's a bit of a misconception. I actually do care about my completion and finishing out the logbook, but I also like it, so like I like keeping it so that I don't give freebies to any cards. I don't like carry cards along for the fun of it, so that each card, when the bad ones do get their stamp, it's like it's a special occasion, right? And it's like, oh wow, how cool. This run had this weird niche circumstance where Kinhost Carapace got to do something cool, right? It creates better narratives, right? And you get to be a little more invested in things like Gift of Gratitude having that role happen, right? But Boneshine is an exception to this rule. In the fact that, like, because if that card had Consume on it, I would not have taken it and just carried it through. But because it has Purge, there's just never a circumstance where I'm ever going to let that finish. Other than this one, where the run is so broken that my brain turns off and I forget that Boneshine's there. There you go, Boneshine. I'll do a quick review for you of what is not mastered, in case you're interested. So we got 3 in Hellhorned. I actually have to click through this. I believe I know which ones they are, though. These are all units, I'm pretty sure. Or 2 units? 2 units. It's 2 units? It's no, it's 3 units. It's Brandon, it's Alpha Fiend, and it's Demon Fiend. Surprising about Alpha Fiend should be mastered, but I threw a run with him, unfortunately. In Awoken, it's Animus of Speed, Thorned Hollow. Oh, there's 4 in Awoken, actually. Animus of Speed, Thorned Hollow. What else is it? It's, Fire Shards. I just haven't started with this card. As soon as I start with this card and win a run with it, it gets stamped. And, like, of course it does, but I'm never going to click on Fire Shards, so one run I'll start with it and it won't be the worst option, and that run will also end up winning. What is the last one? It's, Spreading Spores. Not Restoring Retreat. What's the last card? I missed it. Where is it? It's Bramble Lash? Wow, that's really surprising, actually. Huh. In Stygian, it's, I think it's Icy Siliphyte in Stygian. Is it Icy Siliphyte? I think she's the last option. Yeah, it's Icy Siliphyte. She's not bad, but she just hasn't shown up at the right time for her to be good. Glacial Seal got its little revenge on me because I did it dirty. Umbra's done. Umbra, I've mastered everything. Melting. How many are there in Melting? There's 3. I think one of them's Formless Child, because why would I ever willingly pick Formless Child, right? What else? Intent on Death. I just have not had a good run for Intent on Death to pop off. Usually you play Endless on your tombs, so what do you do this for? Bounty Stalker, maybe? Formless Child, I guess. Yeah, big I guess. Formless Child, and the other one is... Like a scavenger hunt. What is the last one? I have not seen it yet. It's 3, right? There's 3? 38 to 41? I'm blind. I'm absolutely just blind here. Oh, it's Sacrificial Resurrection. It's hard to see the ones that have a ton of card text. It's Sacrificial Resurrection, though. And then for Wurmkin, what do we have? We have 2. We can just toggle. There's an option for Unmastered. Bog Deep Cocoonkin Host Carapace. This doesn't work, though, for the stamps. I have tried this, but it will show you the ones that are Divine Mastered, so you can do not Divine Mastered is not there, though. And then lastly, Clanless. Bone Rattler. It's Bone Rattler, Spike Driver Colony, and Polyquaw? It's probably Polyquaw, right? No, it's not Polyquaw. Wait, what's the... Because there's 3, right? What's the third one? Dante has it. Spike Driver has it. Bone Dog has it. Oh, it's gonna be... Is it Skull? No? Oh, it's Excavated Ember. You can stamp this card? Yeah, I guess you can. Huh. I wonder if that stamps it when it comes in from Umbra. That's kind of interesting. I did not even realize. But there's an event that gives it to you, so yeah, I guess it can get stamped. That's kind of weird. Alright. I've taken up enough of your time just showing you these, but... You know, if you care about completion, there you go. There's your rundown. There's a few, like, I'm excited for Kinhost Carapace to get it and actually have a good run for it. I'm hopeful anyway. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy, don't forget to become Washingberry, my favorite fruit-themed president. Don't forget to like if you liked, subscribe if you want to see more. I'll see you in the next one, and have a good one.